roast beef. It's what's for dinner. That's my Sam Elliott impression. Figured I could try that. I don't have a cowboy hat. Well, I guess I could always imagine he was in a Civil War movie somewhere. I'm sure Sam Elliott must have been in a Civil War movie. I can't imagine him not. But I don't have the uniform. But I do have a bayonet. I just don't know where it is. My dad took it because he thought I was going to kill somebody with it. Not in a day or two, just eventually. And then he says he can't find it. What if I want to kill somebody and I don't have my bayonet? So I could be in a Civil War movie, I suppose. I think about the Civil War. Oh, geez, I got to get out of all this stuff. It takes so much to get dressed up in costume for you guys. Thing that always made me wild about the Civil War was the idea when they say brothers fighting brothers. And it just sounds ludicrous. I'm like, why would they? What could get into their heads to want to kill their brother? Unless they didn't like him already to begin with. My second brother, he's probably sitting in a truck down the street waiting for the day when Civil War erupts just so he can haul his ass right down here and fucking kill me with the bayonet he got from my dad. It's mine. And so that might, but you know, Civil War, I always figured it would really take like something big. In 2016, this book fell into my hands. Behold a Pale Horse by some Bill Milton guy. I don't know. He's dead. But it wasn't even the book somebody was trying to give me. He was trying to give me a book, Rivethead, by that guy from Flint. And he was looking for that, and he came across Behold a Pale Horse, and I looked, and it's a childishly like drawing on the front, like, you know, not the best artist in the world did it, but it gets the point across. There's this white pale horse, and I'm just like, something about that grabs my attention. I said I should probably read it. So I read it, and it seemed like every morning on the toilet, I'd be reading, and I'd read something that made me go, wow. And then that night on the news, that something would happen, and I go, wow, this shit's all going on. We're the Goyim, you know. Right at this point, it all happened the way it. See, I'm not bent one way or another when I read a book. I like to see what they've got to say. I like to use the shit they've got to say, even if it's just against them. Sometimes for myself, whatever you get, there's something in there, and now here, I figured, in order for it to go to a civil war from this point, we, the Goyim, the animals, would have to act like the animals we are, like we had no control over ourselves, and just turn on each other. But this sickness alone couldn't do that. It took something really big to happen while everybody was already fucking pissed off, leaning over the fence because of the disease, waiting for something to happen. The disease prepped us. And all of a sudden something big happened that everybody's angry about one way or the other. And they're out there, you know, all over the country. Gosh, you know, I had an old roommate, well, yeah, we'll put it that way, texted me the other day and said, are you rioting in the metropolitan streets? And he said, I decided to not go to the one in San Jose. KSJS San Jose, 90.5 FM. Yeah. And he said he just figured it was better to sit, you know, he's making a joke. There are riots in every city. And these people, one way or the other. And you also take, see, people talk politics. Anytime I go to one of these family functions, haven't been to one in a while. First bounce, 250 points. But these few times I've been there with different people, never repeated again though. The men will be sitting in the kitchen area and talking about stuff, and they'll bring stuff up, and it's almost like it's a test to see if you're on board or if you're not. And they start talking about this stuff, and then they'll turn and they'll go, "What do you think, Judas?" And I'm just standing there quietly the whole time. Get rid of the cigarette. Nobody smokes but me, so I don't smoke inside. Say, "What do you think of it?" And I stand there and I say, "I'm not into politics. None of this stuff bothers me at all." And they look at me, and they might say a thing or two more, but then the conversation is over. It's like a test. See where you are on board. And see, I only have to say it to them once. Say something once. Why say it again when I have nothing to say? My lips are sealed. So they catch on. But here it is. They're in a room. There are people that could have very differing ideas, even though the one doesn't, but the other one just kind of questions them. First thing that happens in the Civil War is when the one that's not trusted does something that the judge or the guy that's watching him does. He could turn on him one way or the other. But that's the thing. We are at a point where we could go total civil war right now. And it's all because of this. People. They're what's for dinner.